The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is coming with some big upgrades to the displays, cameras and more, so hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So first up, we've got the only bit of bad news, and it's going to be bad news for some of you, but the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is going to be coming with a slimmer design this time around, but the trade-off to that is going to be some S Pen functionality. Now the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is still going to support the S Pen, but there may be some more limitations in functionality. Now this is only a leak at the moment, and the post via Crow on X doesn't specify the limitations, so I'll have to keep you guys posted on this one. Now next up, we've got news that the Z Fold 7 is going to be making more changes to the hinge mechanism, and according to Panda Flash Pro on X, the display crease in the center of the display is almost completely gone, but apparently you can still see it a little bit under certain light. But it's important to note, however, that this leak crops up every single year and it never happens, so I'll believe it when I see it. Now we've also been hearing reports of improvements to the ultra-thin glass used on the foldable display, and this is not only going to increase the overall durability, but it also helps with this reduction increasing in the center of the display. And then the display gets a bump to 8 inches, and according to another post on Weibo, we're also getting upgrades to the under-display camera, but again, they've given no details on the upgrades. Now the current under-display camera is using a 4 megapixel camera, and I assume it's kept that low as it increases light capture per pixel, so it could be a slight bump in megapixel or maybe even a larger sensor inside to help it capture more light. Now there have also been rumors of an under-display camera coming to the cover display, but again, we've had no confirmations recently, so I'll update you as soon as we hear more. Another upgrade is reportedly going to be coming to the primary camera as well, and while it's unclear what sensor they're going to be changing it to, I'm really hoping it's something similar to what we see on the S phones, as we get great performance from their primary cameras. And judging by all of my comments, so many people just want to see a better camera setup in the Z Fold 7. Now when it comes to battery and fast charging, pretty much all of the reports are saying it's going to be the same 4400 mAh battery with also the same fast charging capabilities. This is hardly a surprise at looking at Samsung's recent launches, but there will be improvements to the internal structure and the water resistance. Now the phone is of course going to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite, and there are rumors circulating that there's going to be a cut down version with 7 cores instead of 8, but personally I just don't see this happening for the Fold. The Z Fold 7 is such a premium device, and I just don't see them making that change as it doesn't make sense, but maybe that could be something they change with the Flip 7, but hopefully not the Fold. Now something else that's reportedly going to be remaining the same is the cost, and reports state that Samsung will be sticking to the same launch price as last year, which is great news, and the launch date is also set for July again, so it's not long until Samsung reveal everything themselves. Now for those of you excited for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 though, we're now going to run through the full specs, design and the expected pricing to help you guys decide if it is worth the wait. So make sure you hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, we get an 8-inch foldable 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display, and it's going to be brighter and more accurate than the predecessor. And it's also protected by Samsung's new ultra-thin glass that reportedly has no creasing in the center of the display. We get the usual HD resolution along with some trimmed down bezels and a full screen display. For the external display, it's a full screen 6.5-inch 120Hz dynamic AMOLED display. Again, we get improvements to brightness as well as color accuracy, and it's also going to be even wider than its predecessor, which is great news to hear. We'll be getting S Pen support for both the displays, but the S Pen is not going to be housed inside the Z Fold 7 and it will be sold separately. When it comes to cameras, it's reportedly going to be the first Fold with dual under-panel cameras, and the exact sensors are unknown at the moment, but we expect it to be another 4 megapixel under-panel camera to assist with the light capture. Now over on the rear, it's a triple camera setup consisting of a 50 megapixel primary camera, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide and a 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical zoom, and it's a similar camera system to the predecessor, although there are going to be some improvements to the ultra-wide and the telephoto camera. It's going to be powered by an overclocked version of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, coupled with 6GB of RAM and up to 1TB of storage, which will of course be UFS 4. It's coming with a 4500 mAh battery with upgrades to fast charging for both wired and wireless charging, and we're getting 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, Wi-Fi 7 and NFC support, and the phone is going to ship with One UI 7 based on Android 15. Now it's shipping in July 2025 and it's expected to start from around $1,900, and that's going to be about £1,800 for the UK. So overall, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 is looking like a great addition to the lineup, and the new slim form factor is great news for me, as I'm happy to see it increasing in display size over time. I just want it to be a little bit bigger than last year. Now of course, with new hardware and software, it also means it's going to handle pretty much anything you can throw at it. We'll no doubt get some new AI features in there as well. But given its similarities with its predecessor though, I can't imagine anyone with a Fold 6 is going to be rushing for an upgrade, but for anyone with a much older Fold, or maybe someone looking to try out their first folding phone, it's going to be a great choice. Now of course, launch is still quite far away at the moment, and we'll be getting more and more leaks as we approach it, and of course I'll be sharing them as soon as they come in, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.